Yo, are we talking about the end of Robert Whittaker? Is this the end of Robert Whittaker at the top of the division, at top of middleweight? Because he had his fight yesterday against Rainer de Reader in Abu Dhabi, and you know this was after he's coming off after a loss to Khamzat Chimaev, after getting tapped out in the first round. So he was coming here for to get a victory, to get a big victory, and he looked good the first two rounds, well, especially the first round. The second round, he started to get him pieced up in the second round, but in the first round, he looked good. He looked better than RDR. Striking wise, he looked way better. He looked faster. He was pretty much defending every takedown that RDR was trying to go for. But eventually, the pace of RDR and the physicality of RDR got to Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker just started gassing out, and those knees to the body started taking effect, started slowing Robert Whittaker down, and that's when RDR was, he was getting close in finishing Robert Whittaker in the second round. But then Robert Whittaker hits RDR with a beautiful, beautiful overhand right. Literally turned off RDR's power. Like, he literally just shut down for a second. He dropped down to the floor, and he managed to survive the onslaught of Robert Whittaker. He managed to, to survive. And he managed to survive, and he almost got knocked out in the second round by Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker, in the round, and then he just came back and then almost finished RDR. But it's just RDR was just smuggling, clinching Robert Whittaker a lot, and then he took him 2 times. He took him down 2 times out of 15 takedowns, and those 2 takedowns ran up to 9 minutes of control time. And pretty much, it was a close fight. A lot of people are saying this was a robbery, but it was not a robbery. It was a close fight. And just, I believe RDR did a bit more than Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker gassed out in like the second round, and looked sloppy in the later rounds. And is this the end in terms of Robert Whittaker at the top of the division? Because he lost to Chimaev, okay. He's now lost to RDR, and he's lost to DDP, the champion. This was his one-way ticket to try to be in contender for that middleweight title. Lost, and that dude has 4 fights in 8 months. That is crazy. That is crazy activity from RDR. Incredible. Rainer de Ritter just managed to be so active. And I have a feeling he's gonna be fighting soon in the next couple of months. But RDR is calling out the champion, so we'll see if they give RDR the winner of DDP and Khamzat Chimaev. It's gonna be a good fight, that one, dude. Like, that one's a 50-50 fight. If Chimaev manages to, if DDP doesn't manage to survive the first round of Khamzat Chimaev, then he's gonna win, because Chimaev's gonna gas out, and we already know DDP has amazing cardio. DDP and RDR, they're really, really similar. They're really clumsy. They look really goofy when they strike, but they work. It works for them. That style that they have, it works for them. And they have a lot of cardio too, especially for being that big in terms of the size of RDR, because this RDR looks really big, man, compared to Robert Whittaker. And they kept saying that Robert Whittaker's weakness was going to be physicality. It was going to be just somebody that's going to be bigger and is going to be using the size advantage, and that's what happened. RDR looked really, really huge compared to Robert Whittaker. and he managed to just use his size to, and to impose his will on Robert Whittaker and break him down a bit, and that's what he did. Robert Whittaker looked good, and RDR was just, he gassed him out with those body shots, with those knee to the body. It's gonna be next for Robert Whittaker, bro, because he said that he had like 2 more fights. He was planning to win this one, maybe he fight one more, and then fight for the title, or fight for the title after this one. No, not after this one, because he was coming off a loss. So maybe have this fight, beat RDR, have one more fight, and then challenge for the title. And then that was gonna be it for Robert Whittaker, because he says he has a couple of fights left. He's gonna retire soon, and this was his only chance to get up there, But this is just gonna bring him back more. So the sad what's gonna happen to Robert Whittaker is he might have one more fight. He might actually have one more fight left, and then he might retire because he realized, this was my chance, and I didn't get the victory, and it's just gonna bring me more back in terms of the career. So it's better if he maybe has one more fight to kind of say like a goodbye type of fight, kind of like what Dustin Poirier had, like a goodbye fight. But yeah, man, I just don't think Robert Whittaker, he has enough to beat any of the DDP, Kamzat, or even RDR, as we see. Just unfortunately for him, he's not gonna challenge for the title anytime soon. So sucks to see the RDR, another legend, potentially gonna be retiring soon. We already have Dustin Poirier retiring last weekend, and then it's just a lot of legends are gonna be retiring soon. So yeah, man, sad to see. But what's gonna be next for RDR, man? RDR, just, even though he looked really slow, he looked clumsy, he looks like he could fucking take a beating, and he could still stand in there and still fight back, and still dangerous. Like, his style is pretty dangerous, because once he gets a hold of you, he could knee you, and those knees are devastating. His knees to the body are devastating, as we see. He managed to hurt Bo Nickal with those knees, and then he managed to hurt Robert Whittaker with those knees too. But Robert Whittaker was just too good. And Robert Whittaker was just better than Bo Nickal. He was able to take some of those shots, but it was still pretty devastating because it slowed him down a lot. But RDR, man, he's gonna have to. He might have a chance to fight for the title. We'll see. I think they might give him one more fight, and then if he wins it, they might give him whoever the winner is, whoever the champion is by then. But it's gonna be a good fight for RDR, any of the top division. If he ends up becoming a UFC champion, it's gonna be another milestone, another big milestone for RDR. He's going to be like, they're gonna sort of kind of. People are gonna start looking at him and be like, "Yo, this is like an Alex Pereira type situation." Alex Pereira was a 2-weight champion in Glory. He came to the UFC and became a champion. Not many people that were champions from different organizations end up becoming champions in the UFC. You saw Pitbull Cruz Pitbull just lose to Yair Rodriguez, and then coming back with Ige. But I just don't see him challenging for a title anytime soon. Got Kaya Sakura, who was a champion in Ryzen, and then he came to the UFC, challenged Pantoja, and just pretty much got schooled by Pantoja. Not many champions from other organizations come and end up becoming champions. So RDR is gonna be one of the few to do it if he ends up, somehow winning the UFC title. Because he's close, man. He has like one more fight left, and he challenged for that title. RDR, man, it's big for this guy. He was a 2-weight champion in one, and now he's over here. He might have a chance to become a UFC champion. That's crazy for RDR. He's gonna become one of those great combat athletes who was able to do it in 2 different sports. Well, not do 2 different sports. I mean, 2 different organizations. But yeah, incredible stuff from RDR.